Right, so welcome back. Usually we're gigging into, big data sets or historical events, but today we're pivoting to something, well, something arguably a lot heavier.
Yeah. A literal roadmap for the human soul.
Exactly. We're doing a deep dive on this visual guide called The Two Journeys, a spiritual guide to a fulfilling life.
It's a really fascinating piece of work. It takes what feels like the chaos of existence and argues that it's not random at all.
That there's a purpose to it.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes the case that life is this purposeful cycle with two really distinct goals. One is finding yourself, and the other is connecting with others.
And you can't have one without the other.
You can't. They're totally interconnected.
Okay, so the guide splits this into an inward journey and an outward journey. And I have to be honest, when I hear inward journey, my mind immediately goes to, living in a cave somewhere, ignoring the world to just focus on me.
You'd think so, right. But the source actually sort of flips that on its head. It defines the inward journey as discovering your true self and your unique path, sure. But then it immediately brings in the outward journey, which it calls learning through others.
Ah, so you can't just sit in the cave.
No, the argument is that introspection without the context of the real world is, well, it's pretty much useless.
That's a great way to put it. So the inward journey is the theory, but the outward journey is like the field work.
That is a perfect analogy. You can sit and theorize about who you are all day long, but you only actually define yourself through your relationships with all kinds of different people. It's a feedback loop.
The outside world tests your inner theories.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the strategy. Go in to know yourself, go out to test it. But the source also gives us tactics. It lists 3 specific practices to actually do this. The first one, though, live for today. I mean, I have to play devil's advocate here. That's on every coffee mug in existence.
It does sound like a cliche until you look at the specific imagery they use. The text says our days are like leaves falling from a tree.
Whoa. Okay, that's a lot darker than a coffee mug.
It changes the tone completely, doesn't it?
Right.
It frames time as this diminishing resource. It's not just have fun, YOLO. It's the very real idea that once a leaf falls, you can't glue it back on the branch. That day is gone.
So it's trying to create a sense of urgency.
A kind of positive urgency, yeah. If you actually visualize that tree getting bare, you stop waiting for some perfect future moment to be happy. You realize the leaves are falling no matter what, so you might as well, catch them.
But see, here's the problem. If I'm constantly staring at a tree counting falling leaves, I'm going to be anxious, not happy. My mind is just going to be racing.
And that is exactly why the second practice is a prerequisite for the first. You can't handle that reality without cultivating a calm mind.
This must be where that visual, the clear mirror in the source comes in.
Precisely. The text says that happiness actually requires a mind kept still. Think about a mirror or a lake. If it's shaking, if the surface is rippling with anxiety, the reflection is distorted.
You can't see yourself clearly.
Or the world. It's all distorted.
So the calm mind isn't just about relaxation. It's a tool for accuracy.
Yes. If your mirror is chaotic, your inward journey is based on bad data. You need that stillness to get an accurate read on who you are before you even try to relate to others.
Which brings us to the final practice. And honestly, this one feels like the hardest to pull off. Give love like the wind. It sounds poetic, but what does invisible love even look like?
Well, this is where the source really challenges our modern idea of relationships. We tend to treat love like a transaction, I did this for you, so you owe me that. We keep a mental scoreboard.
Dreaded scoreboard.
Right. But the text says true love is selfless and invisible. Think about the wind. You don't see the wind itself, you just see the effect it has on the trees.
So the goal is to have the impact without seeking the credit for it.
Exactly. The key phrase in the source is that it keeps no record. It's about giving without tracking the return on investment. If you're keeping a record of wrongs and rights, you're not loving like the wind. You're acting like a bank.
So if we zoom out and look at this whole roadmap, it's a cycle. You need the inward exploration and the outward connection.
Yeah.
But the engine for all of it is being present, keeping that mirror clear,
Yeah.
and burning the scoreboard.
That's the synthesis. It's all about balance. You can't do the outward journey right if you're busy keeping score, and you can't do the inward journey if your mind is just a mess of noise.
It certainly gives us some homework to do.
It does. And that brings me to a final thought for you to chew on. The source is so adamant that true love is invisible and keeps no record.
Right.
So consider this. If you completely stopped keeping score in your relationships today, just wipe the slate clean of who owes who what, how would that fundamentally change your outward journey tomorrow?
Wow. That's a terrifying and liberating thought all at once. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
See you next time.